This is what I want to talk about, Brian Shea. This seems like,
Sonic.
to me, maybe the biggest news to come out of Comic-Con, gaming-wise.
Yeah. So the Sonic 25th anniversary party happened the Friday of Comic-Con, and they teased like all these announcements. And the first announcement was like Sonic Mania. So that is the name of the game. It's kind of a strange name, but
yeah, it's been rumored a little bit that they're going back to 2D retro stuff. Right?
I mean, they've done that for the past few games, like Sonic Generations.
Yeah, it's been polygonal though, right?
Yeah, it hasn't been like the retro sprites like we're seeing now. So that's the cool thing is it's like retro sprites. It's done by the guy who did like all the ports of like Sonic 1, Sonic 2, and Sonic CD to like Xbox 360 and then like 3DS.
Interesting.
Well, Sonic CD never made it to 3DS, but Christian Whitehead and his team at Pagoda West are working with Sonic Team to do this game.
Interesting.
Which is the first time I think Sonic Team has ever collaborated with an indie dev.
Yeah, well, technically, what is the
aside from
Boom
the ports?
guys?
Well, that's
they're independent, but
I don't think Sonic Team was involved with that though.
Oh, okay.
I think
so
that was
they're
just
actually
them.
a little more hands-on.
Yeah, this time it's like actually like Takashi Iizuka and like who's the head of Sonic Team and like the rest of the Sonic team is working with Pagoda West, who I think is based in Australia.
Oh, interesting. So the trailer, it had some confusing word in there, but this isn't like a remake. This is completely new?
Here's the thing. It is a completely new game, and they have like, it seems like it's almost like half and half where like it's classic zones. Like I played the demo that was on hand at the party, and the first zone I played was Green Hill Zone from Sonic 1.
Same music?
Yeah, and then there was also, I think it was like an altered version or like an updated version of it.
Okay.
You can tell everyone at the party to be quiet. You're trying to listen.
Well, yeah, I mean there was a band performing live on stage, and I put on headphones and went like this.
How wooed.
That's good.
No, but there were like new paths that you could take in it and everything. So it's like they rebuilt it from the ground up. Like it's still like the same main paths, but like there are new elements and new areas and like
kind of like what Generations did already.
Yeah, a little bit, but like, you know, it controls just like the old games. Like the momentum builds up the same way. Like that was the big letdown for Sonic 4 was like the momentum and the physics were like still not great. But like this, it feels like the old.
I forgot about Sonic the Hedgehog 4.
Yeah,
episode
what a
1
letdown.
And 2. Tim Turry liked him a fair amount, but
I think he still gave him like a 6, didn't he?
I think it was a little bit higher than that, at least for the first episode. But
well, the first one was the bigger mess. Like the first one had like where you could just like casually stroll around a loop because there was no momentum physics whatsoever.
But this game, Sonic Mania, felt good.
Yeah, it felt great. It felt just like I was playing a game on Genesis, and like the art style is it. Like in certain still shots, it looks just like Sonic 1, but like it's really like a combination of like Sonic 1, 2, 3, and CD. Like they kind of like they've like made their own graphics and sprites based on like those. It's kind of like they're blending elements of all those games to like make the visuals. Like they're like when Sonic hits a spring, he does that like little like spinny move that he does in CD, where like he doesn't just go straight up, like he kind of spins, and then like. When he gets like going like really fast, like he looks like he's doing like remember that figure 8 move that he did in Sonic CD where like his legs like moved in an 8 shape. It was kind of weird. And
Brian, you could look out into that camera and ask that exact question, and every viewer would also be shaking their head no.
No, I guarantee people remember that move.
I'm sure someone does.
So it looks like that, only he doesn't do the 8, but like he still does like the same motion that he did. Like it was just a more animated version of his running, like when he got going like really fast in CD.
So I'm trying to predict how people. I think this is cool. I'm happy that they're doing something weird, like reaching out to an indie dev. But I'm trying to predict how it could conceivably let fans down. And is the possible route for disappointment like, oh, it's just like a mega mix mode where it's just remixed of all these old things?
Well, the other zone I played was a brand new zone.
Oh, okay.
It was Studiopolis Zone, I think it was, which is like a film studio based level.
Okay.
And like you go into like this one area and like the room fills up with popcorn and like it's just real like kind of dumb cartoony stuff like that, but it's like still really fun. Like remember like the levels in Sonic where like it all filled up with sand and you had to like race around and like avoid the platforms as like you got higher and higher. It's kind of like that, only like, you know, it actually was just like pushing you up and like it was almost like air was pushing you up. So little like weird things like that, and but it was like super fun, and like you weren't always running like left to right, like you know you hit the loop and then suddenly you're going this way. It's just kind of branching paths.
Is this wild dream come true for you as a Sonic fan? Are you worried about anything?
I mean, I'm worried about the level design just because that's always been an issue with the more recent games. Like you're going so fast, and then like if you look at Sonic Generations, for example, like I loved the first half of that game, and then once you got to the modern levels, like especially the Sonic 06, I think it was Crisis City was the level. like it was just all like these like random like, all right, here's an instant death pit just in the middle of this path that you were running along, and like you have no time to react, and that's the stuff I'm most worried about. But I think that the people who are working on it have like a good grasp of how like those levels should be designed. Like, and I didn't see any of those like red flags in this level, like the levels that I played. So
Robotnik's in it.
I didn't see him, but like I mean, I did fight one boss, and it looked like Robotnik, like designed type stuff. Like,
all right,
it looked like it had like it was just like these two balls, and they were swinging around attached to a chain, and you had to like knock them out. And like once one went away, then it started like bouncing. And yeah,
so it's coming out this year.
I think they said spring 2017.
Okay,
and then they also announced another game at the party. Which is just called Project 2017 at this point. Like, there's no like a final title, but it looks like it might be Sonic Generations 2. Like, because there was like it started off and it was like this. It was just a CGI like teaser, and it was like Sonic off in the distance, and he's like staring at this city. It's just like burning, and he starts running towards. Yeah,
what have I done?
Looks at his bloody hands.
So he starts running towards the city. And then, like halfway towards, through his run, like classic Sonic jumps in and starts running alongside him, and then like that's about it. Like that's the trailer. So we don't really know anything about it aside from like it's coming holiday 2017, and it's going to be on the NX. Which, yeah. So Sonic Mania is on PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Sonic 2017 or whatever they're calling it is PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo NX.
Did they acknowledge Sonic Boom, Song of Ice and Fire, or whatever that 3DS game is called?
They did give some like trailer about it, but they didn't like announce any like thing. It was playable at the party.
Oh, okay.
Like,
so it's not
and
like
I
they're
played
kind of
it
sweeping it under the rug.
Yeah, and I played
Sonic
it at
Boom.
E3, and it seemed like an improvement. I mean, I'm still not a huge fan of the Sonic Boom games, but like it seemed like an improvement over the two games that came out a couple years ago.